Hey, my name's Russell Wall. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. If you are following and you are ready to start on a new adventure of change, growth, finance, business, and goals, here we go. One thing that I realized recently is that change doesn't come naturally. And a lot of people talk about change. They talk about wanting more finances in their life. They talk about starting a business. They talk about buying real estate. They talk about and talk about and talk about and talk about, and they don't follow through. One of the reasons why is because change is something that is instinctually difficult for most people to do. And so it becomes this uncomfortable thing. Our bodies, our minds, we want to repeat yesterdays because yesterdays are comfortable and based in survival. If we repeat yesterday, we survived yesterday, so we're going to survive today. Charles Darwin says that it is not the strongest that survives, nor the most intelligent, but the one that adapts to change the fastest. So when you are thinking about change and you're thinking about starting something new, say a diet or a new business or creating more money or buying a house or anything in life where you are going to be setting a goal that is different from the behaviors that you have already had, there is a moment in time. And the moment in time starts when you set your goal. That moment in time, there is all this behavior that has happened before this, and it is conditioned behavior. It is the behavior of the old self. In the book Psycho-Cybernetics, Maxwell Maltz talks about the self-image, and in the self-image, what he was a plastic surgeon in the 70s that discovered that he could cut somebody's face. He could literally give them a perfect face, perfect nose, perfect chin, perfect cheekbones, and they would leave his office, they would heal up, and when they came back, they would appear ugly. And what he discovered in the self-image was that the way that somebody was choosing to see themselves was the way that they presented to the world. And so this behavior of seeing ourselves as only an employee or only only making $70,000 a year, or only making $100,000 a year, or only renting a house, or only being 255 pounds, right? I was 288 pounds 4 months ago. When I decided to get change happening in my life, there was all these behaviors that I was continuing to act out of that were conditioned. They were the ones that I had done, I'd repeated over and over and over again. And to this day, there's still behaviors that I see myself doing out of conditioning, and it doesn't actually support me in my goal achieving. When we start at this point in time, there is a set of dominoes. Now, Kelleher in his book, Gary Kelleher in his book, The One Thing, talks about discovering the domino, the one domino that will start a chain reaction that will take and knock over the bigger domino and the bigger domino and the bigger domino, and you will actually make life a lot easier because you have discovered that one thing that is going to start the chain reaction. Now, this domino theory, right? We have a moment in time, so say that is today, and we have a goal. Say it is a 90-day goal. That 90-day goal can be a diet goal, can be a weight release goal, it can be a financial goal, it can be a number of employees, it could be starting a business, whatever the goal is, right? So there's a difference between product goals and process goals. in product goals are the end result of the 90 days. So if my product goal is I'm going to release, I will be at from 255 and I will release 10 pounds off my body in the next 90 days. So 245. Then I will have a process to get there. Now maybe my process is going to be a calorie deficit, right? 2,000 calories per day and 30 minutes of exercise. And then I have this process of these dominoes that is going to go into effect so that I can then reach my goal. Each one of these different process goals will determine my outcome. Now what happens is if I don't actually do that on day 1 or day 2 or day 5 or day 7, the domino actually gets moved. If I'm still going to get my goal, it just gets moved farther in time. Now I have these dominoes together, which means that on this day, I need to do twice as much as I would have done if I had stuck to my plan. So it doesn't matter at all where I am in the timeline. My process can change here, my process can change here, my process can change here, my process can change throughout the entire 90 days to hit my 245. In fact, I could wait till the last 5 days and starve myself and not drink any water and probably reach my 10 pounds. But that's probably not the healthiest way of doing it. The point I'm making with this is that when we are looking at our process, a lot of times we get attached to what our process is going to look like. It's going to look like this step, this step, this step, this step, and this step. And then when we start the goal and we start going after the goal, and then we discovered that it doesn't look exactly the way that we thought it was going to in the beginning, we give up on the goal. We get dissuaded is the word that I want to use. Yeah. So it's like, you know, because it was going to look like this, it was going to look like this, and it doesn't look like this. And so it's like, I'm just going to give up because it doesn't look the way that I thought it was going to look. That right there is the old self, the old behavior coming back. And a lot of people will go victim to themselves, and they'll go victim to their thought process, and they will sell themselves on the idea on how achieving the goal that they set out to achieve is unachievable, right? Because you're going to sell yourself in this process over and over again, one way or the other. You're going to sell yourself on the idea that you can hit your goal, or you're going to sell yourself on the idea that you can't. And when it doesn't look exactly the way that you think that it should look is when most people give up. And that's where faith comes in. When you have faith that it is 100% achievable and 100% going to happen, and it doesn't matter what it looks like in order to get there, you will get there. The sell becomes, I don't know how to get there, and that's totally okay. Gary Keller talks about this domino. Right? So what happens in the timeline is that it is absolutely a possibility that you start today and mid-timeline, 90 days from now, you discover a new process that ends up making the dominoes more effective. And when you do that, it actually topples over and you achieve your goal way before the 90 days is up. So, as you're going after your goals in life, if you set a goal big enough that it scares you, you're like, it's a little bit outside of my comfort zone, it will create the change in you that combats that instinctual behavior to be the same. If you want to know more about goals, goal setting, you want to dream big, you want to go into business, you want to start something new, you want to be financially free with your family, this is the channel to come discover all of the secret sauce. See you on the next video.